Hello, people. It's your boy Osman back again. Oh, God, it's good to be back. And what other better way to return with the squad, the entire squad. Daniel can't make it, lastminute.com. Unlike Ziyech, who actually turned up for fuck's sake, but it is what it is. We'll get into that. Obviously, there's a lot to discuss. The top four race. In my case, sadly, the title race is back on. We might mention the relegation zone just for the sake of it, because obviously Everton, Leeds, all them scum are down there as well. So, we might mention it in passing, but nevertheless, get your thoughts in, get your questions in. As always, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Brush, as always, showing love. And James, it's been a while. Hopefully you and the family are doing well, my brother. So slap a like, subscribe to the channel. Everyone's socials are down below. But without further ado, the homies on the left. Oh, it's been a good week for you. Kish, how are you doing, bro?
Yeah, listen, that was totally unexpected. If anything, it was totally Spursy, if I'm honest, in terms of absolutely bottle jobbed it, the results before, and then you come out and get 3 points against the reigning champions, and hopefully, in my opinion, I hope they win the league again. It was just, it was more about, I was more bothered before the game of please make it respectable and not lose by more than 2. So to get all 3 points again, I would have never expected that.
Yeah, absolute madness. We will get into that. I'm happy I didn't slag off Kane before the game because I was about to, but I held my tongue for a change. Listen, our next guest is the only gentleman on the panel without 3 points this weekend. Obviously, there's a lot to discuss, but before we get into that, just want to say it's an absolute pleasure to see your face, my brother. Lawless, how you doing?
Listen, I'm in a fighting mood today. All that's what I'm saying.
That's what you need. You're gonna need it today, I'm telling you.
Every single person, with the exception of Kojo, because it's Kojo, is getting it today.
I'm fun anyway, so
I'm bringing people. Listen, you're all on highs, everything. I'm keeping and bringing you back down to earth. I'm coming for you, for the three of you. Yeah, just know this, right? It's on today. I'm ready.
Bro, I'm just chilling.
But I look at you've got that smile on your face. Yeah, that's just.
It's a 3 point smile, It's a 3 point.
And this is the thing. I know things are gonna come for it. Even if you have to say anything now, I'm anticipating. Yeah. So let's see.
Straight in there. I mean, he's not right.
But he bottled that post, by the way. Like Spurs bottled their league when we beat them, by the way. Look, he's corrected it now with a little asterisk. It's too late. You bottled it.
Yeah. I'm sure he can sleep at night. I'm sure he'll be fine. But listen, last but not least, the homies from 3 in midfield. Kojo and Kale are in the building. How we doing, boys?
Hi, I'm good, I ain't been on this show in a while, actually. That's my bad. I'm happy, man. How you doing this, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's always beautiful to see you. It's always good to see your beautiful face. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, that's
it's been a while. It's been a while. Obviously, Kale as well, man. My homie, we've been through it thick and thin. Just like Aubameyang bagging the hat trick on his, returns. That is how I feel tonight. I mean, good.
I was wondering how long it would have took you to mention that guy's name, but it is what it is, man. I don't care. We got 3 points, so he can score. He got the same amount of goals as points that we did this weekend, innit? So
yes.
Not a lot of teams can say that on this panel, but.
We'll see what you're saying when you're not playing a team that's lost like 7 in a row. Let's see what you're saying.
It's who's in front of you up until they come against West Ham, innit? Yeah, but it is what it is.
They beat you as well, didn't they, Lawrence? So doesn't everyone beat West Ham? Like, we beat you as well. Like, we didn't even try and still beat you. Like, fucking hell.
It's the referees. It's conspiracy. It's the conspiracy. I told you I'm going to come like Arsenal fans today. I'm coming like Arsenal fans. It's the conspiracy.
Hey, Lawless, you came on our podcast a few weeks ago and you were mentioning referee conspiracy and you had to like use JFK. So, bro.
JFK.
Fake news.
I think this is the biggest conspiracy kill, to be fair, than JFK, but it is what it is. That's according to Lawless. He's sent me that many pictures, you would have thought so. But listen, let's get into it. We're going to start nice and easy. We don't normally talk about Manchester United on this podcast because obviously I cover it on the other podcast. If you aren't aware, we are on my United channel, but we do this every single Monday. I have been away because I've been working elsewhere. you're not on my Twitter, then you don't know, but obviously don't need to announce it here, is what it is. But anyways, we're going to start with Man United. As I mentioned, I'm going to get straight into it. Paul Labile Pogba. Paul Labile, 5 games since his return. I'm just going to set it up. Kish, I'm going to pass it to you, obviously, and then people just jump in. But listen, I've said it consistently, unlike some say his performances. When he plays in an attacking position, in an attacking system, i.e. a team that tries to, retain the ball and play football, he will flourish. Are Manchester United a good team under Ralph Rangnick? Probably not, to be quite frank with you. But the intentions are to try to be a good team, which is try to play football, basically. We're trying to play football, obviously, as you see from every single one of our games. We still can't defend. We still can't control games. But the intention is right, which basically allows Pogba to flourish because he's playing in the 8. He's playing left centre midway. He played for Juventus. And every single time, and honestly, I need to find stats for this, but every single time Pogba has had the license to join the attack, he's been the best player on the pitch. When he's played left wing from January onwards last season under Oli, to obviously when, Matic, Pogba and Bruno were playing in the midfield 3, when it was Matic, Pogba and Herrera. Pogba's always flourished in an attacking position. For me, personally, since he's come back, I mean, he's arguably one of the best midfielders in the league, if not the best midfielder in the league. That's just my personal opinion. Kish, I'm going to pass it to you first. Obviously, everyone's thoughts. We'll get into Sancho as well very shortly. But what are your thoughts on Pogba, man? Obviously, he's going to be leaving very shortly. But
don't get me wrong, it was a fantastic performance, and since he's come back from injury, it's not a coincidence that United's results have picked up drastically since he's been in the squad. However, I wouldn't get carried away. You played in the 2 recent games that you played a Brighton team which give you tons of space in the offensive positions, and then you played Leeds, who you've already battered at the beginning of the season 6-1 or 6-2.
Oh, it's
and
just Leeds are just
if you want to play any team with that midfield that you have with the likes of Bruno and the likes of Pogba in the attacking position, it is Leeds, because Leeds have as much time they will give you on the ball, they will also attack the opposite direction. So there's always opportunities and there's always holes in defense for players like Pogba with, the skill sets that they have to be able to absolutely rip, the Leeds defense apart. And that's literally what happened, because it seemed to me like no one even realized that Pogba is running the show. There wasn't I don't know if it's because Calvin Phillips is injured, and usually with him in the team, there might be a bit more defensive ability, but it seemed like he had the whole of Ellen Road just open, basically. The gates were open for him to do whatever he wanted, tricks, flicks, whatever he wanted to do, it was there. The only surprise for me in the end was the fact that Ronaldo didn't bag a hat-trick, because I would have thought that would be perfect for him to bag at least a brace. But look, for me, forget the Leeds game, because I had no doubt in my mind that United were going to battle Leeds, because that's just the way they play. And every time I think Leeds have played United won comfortably, I think, bar maybe the odd freak result. So the game where I want to see Pogba perform the way he has is the Atletico Madrid game. Granted, it's not the same Atletico Madrid of maybe in the past, and they've really struggled this season in the league. I think this is the first time in 10 years that Simeone's job's under threat. However, it's still Atletico Madrid. It's still defending La Liga champions. They have more than enough quality throughout their team, from goalkeeper to strike, to hurt United. So if he performs in that game for me, then yes, well and truly. But granted, the performance has been great, but until I see Pogba starting and having that sort of similar performance as he has done recently in that game against Atletico Madrid, I'm not going to get too carried away. And I don't think you should get too carried away, until that happens.
You know what, Usman? I was following your tweets during the game, right? And as soon as Pogba done that flip, right, within like 10 seconds, the tweet was out. Oh my God, Paul Pogba, flick, this, that, and the other, right? When Maguire scored the goal, I kept checking. I was refreshing. I tweeted you.
I did tweet about Maguire's goal.
Has he not shown you? He's got about 30 draft templates for Pogba, just like for every for skills. Martial as well. He deleted them in it recently, but he did have them. Like, they were ready for Pogba.
Do you know what he was like? He was sitting there and he was thinking, suppose I better do this Maguire thing. Like, yo, fair play, Maguire. Yeah, go.
Yeah, Maguire,
Like,
Sheffield,
Pogba flick. Oh!
Yorkshire boy.
Yeah, that's actually so accurate as well. I'm not quite gonna deny it. Bro, honest to God, I don't like Maguire. I don't think anyone, Manchester United fans like Maguire. And look, fair play to him, he scored in it. But you know, I just can't stand him. I literally can't. He's had about what? We've had 150 corners. He's scored one. Well done, mate. Well done, and absolutely not fair play to him.
By the way, can I ask why Varane was dropped, but Maguire wasn't? No, but he came off the bench.
No, because he was injured the week prior, and I'm assuming it wasn't fully fit. I don't even know, to be honest. I'm assuming they didn't want to rush him. We have got that Atletico Madrid game, which for me personally, we should beat Leeds without Varane, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this shit. Like, we slap Leeds every single week, man. I wish we could play weekly. Our goal difference would be nice. Our stat padding would be beautiful. Like Bruno loves the games against Leeds. The guy's got like 6 goals in like 3 games against him. That's something ridiculous like that. But look, what you said about Pogba, Kish, you are right, to be fair. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. You are right. But that, you know, who gives a fuck about, you know, being realistic? Pogba's the best midfield in the league. I love to see it. He done it against Middlesbrough, the mighty Burnley, the mighty Brighton. Oh, yes, he's quality. That flick, did you see it?
They didn't lead to anything.
Did you see the flick, though? It wasn't, you know, Pogba, man. He should have like fucking 4 or 5 assists. Ronaldo missed an open net, but it is what it is. Listen, Kojo, I've got to ask you, bro. It's good to have a fellow Man United fan on the show. It's been a while, as he said. Chat to me about Pogba, Maguire, whoever you want to talk about. The floor is yours, my guy.
Pogba played well, man. It was really good. The flicks aside, that he controlled the game. Him and Bruno were running things in midfield a little bit as well. My guy in defense, Victor Lindelof. You saw the way he was moving the ball forwards. Played a major part in the Bruno goal as well. So, right, my guys did the thing. You know what I'm saying? There were other guys, despite me being so happy about the win, there were other guys that didn't do a thing. And Maguire's not one of them. Maguire did a thing. He's got a nice header. Very easy header. I don't know where the hell Melier was going, but goals, we'll take it. Beautiful knee slide. Feeling a bit cocky about himself, looking at the Leeds fans, but I'm here for that because Leeds fans are a bit, you know, scum. It's the beef, man. It's the beef. They'll call me the same thing too. It's the beef.
Absolutely, man.
But yeah, no, I was happy. But again, as happy as we were, can I go in on 2 people in particular?
Oh yeah, man. I know you can. I know exactly what you're gonna say as well. But yeah, be my guest.
What are we saying? Who do you think it is?
It's definitely Wan-Bissaka and McTominay.
Oh, no. I didn't forget about McTominay, but McTominay was just on war. He just wanted to do UFC on the pitch.
But that's what you want from a game like that, really.
Yeah, it's
really
true.
improved.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. He brought a bit of fire.
I'm assuming one's got to be Wan-Bissaka in it.
Oh, one is definitely Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka seen that rain and thought, no, what? This Booker T celebration is going to be lit, you know, with the rain coming up here, that, you know, spinning at that. Although it's probably Luke Shaw because I thought he had the shocker as well.
Yeah, there you go. Bingo. Flipping. Being told that this guy is the best one-on-one defender in the Premier League is an absolute lie. Wan-Bissaka is certainly not that because he goes one-on-one with Daniel James of all people. Daniel James, the Welsh wizard, and I'm just thinking like
more a magician than a wizard.
Well, he's a wizard of something. I don't know. I'm just thinking, all right, I get it. I mean, me and my cousin spoke about it, you know. Fast player, if he makes a move, you trip him up, you know, penalty, all that. Yeah. How much do you want to back in your defense before you're like, hey, you know what? I should engage this guy in a challenge, man. I should get on his neck. I shouldn't let him get into the box because I'm backing off. And then Luke Shaw, who is aware of absolutely zero, again at the far post. But then again, in reverse, they do the same thing because Wan-Bissaka's positioning is as great as Titus Bramble's positioning at Newcastle was. And Luke Shaw doesn't engage anybody. He's basically Ben Davies with back off. So, really and truly.
What?
So,
oh my days. What comment?
So,
Yo, don't disrespect Ben Davies like that, man. Come on.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, no, I've just had enough with you. Other than that, good win because it's Leeds. We usually get 4 more against them. So good win, good W. I'm happy, and we move, man.
Wan-Bissaka, I thought was at fault for the second goal, because I thought it was him that made the pass to Bruno, right?
Which one?
You know where
Wan-Bissaka,
where some Man United fans said it's a foul, and it weren't really a foul.
It wasn't a foul.
Oh no, it wasn't a foul.
Yeah, but Wan-Bissaka, when you look at it, the timing of where he makes that pass, he makes that pass to Bruno when he's got a player like right on his neck, to the point where as soon as Bruno gets the ball, someone's already there on him to
I don't think Bruno was aware of him as well, to be fair.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, okay, so you could say Bruno does need to have that awareness, but he hasn't got the time to react because of the way the ball's played. Like, really and truly, Wan-Bissaka shouldn't have played that ball to Bruno right there and then. That was the problem. And then, yeah, it weren't a foul, but then, great winning the ball back. But I think that starts from Wan-Bissaka. That's where the issue starts for that goal.
I mean, a lot of issues start from Wan-Bissaka. But as I want to ask you guys, obviously, we stated, I kind of want to push the Pogba agenda, but it's not happening. We'll come back. We'll be back in a week, innit? Obviously, when he's back against Atletico. But I want to ask you guys about Bruno Fernandes, right? So I'm sure you guys have seen. Okay, we'll come to you first, but I'm sure you may or may not have seen. Man United Twitter does not like Bruno Fernandes. It's very 50-50. I mean, he gets criticized for scoring goals, basically, which I've never seen in my life. He gets criticized for every mistake he makes. Of course, he makes a lot of mistakes. I'm not denying that. But I just want to get your guys' thoughts. Obviously, you're rival fans. Obviously, you see what Bruno does for Man United. You may not watch the full 90 minutes, etc. What do you lot make of Bruno Fernandes? Like, genuinely, because I'm just curious to know, like, Kale, what are your thoughts on Bruno? Because, like I said, he's proper split 50-50 in the Man United fan base.
In any week where Bruno Fernandes doesn't need to make an apology letter on Twitter is a good week for Bruno Fernandes. But, man, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's not had the greatest year this year, but in previous years he's been carrying you lot. So I don't understand why he's become such a polarizing figure. It is 50-50, and a lot of the hate comes from the fact that he isn't very good at the short game. If you give him 30-40 yards, he'll make a fantastic pass across the field, and he'll find his man. But you come 5-yard, simple 5-yard pass, he's blasting it into the side netting, into the corner flag. It's a mess. So he needs to work on his game. Even I don't know how old he is, but I think he's just reached his prime.
27, yeah. I feel like it's 27.
So he's got time. I don't think he's going anywhere. Maybe Atletico Madrid will take him. Maybe you can do a swap deal for João Felix.
Oh, okay. Don't tease me like that.
To be fair, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for João Felix because that dinosaur in Atletico has absolutely finished him. We had Kaka. We had Kaka too, and he's
bro. That's exactly what I'm calling Kaka regen, bro. Literally the definition. But hopefully he doesn't find his Kaka flag because you know what Kaka did to Man United all those years ago.
Gabriel Heinze, boy.
For me personally, I'm going to say something controversial about Bruno. I actually think he could play in any team in the Premier League. In my personal opinion, I genuinely believe he could start in any team in the Premier League. Reason being is everyone this season is saying he's had a poor season, but if you base it on what he's achieved in terms of his statistics, he's got 21 goals and assists this season for Manchester United, and we're in February. So no one said that. No one said that. Across all comp, bear in mind, but it's 21. If you base that to say someone like a Bernardo Silva, he has 14, and apparently this is the best season that he's ever had, and he's raved. Don't get me wrong. The one issue with Bruno, and the reason why he gets a lot of criticism, his general play is average. It's not fantastic. It's not poor. It's average. But what he does do in a lot of games is he makes an impact, whether it be a goal or assist. It's the same with someone like an Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal, where a lot of the time he would create havoc for teams where it'd be goals and assists, but he would lose the possession on numerous occasions. Man United fans know this, and he did it at Arsenal as well. But when he did make an impact, it was either a goal or assist. He is a stat padder. That is literally what he is. He'll have 3 out of 10 games, but then he'll have 9 out of 10 games. And I think that's where Man United fans are struggling a bit, because you want that consistency. But he will this season, he'll probably end up with about 30 to 40 goals and assists this season. I have no doubt in my mind. He probably will. But people will still say that he's had a poor season, which for me personally, I don't get that, because if you put him in, say, a Pep system, he could, before this season, he probably would have started ahead of Bernardo Silva, and he probably would have played in the Gundogan position. But it's based on setup. It's based on what the requirements are of the teams that he's in. And at Manchester United, he's asked to do a lot more than what he does. But a lot more than what he does is more than 21 goals and assists this season. So, it's a bit like you've got to balance it a bit. And I think a lot of fans are asking for so much more than what they've already got from him, in my personal opinion. That's just my opinion from the outside. I'm not a Man United fan, of course, and you guys are.
Man United fans, I'm pretty sure Usman can attest to this. They've always asked more from the midfielders, especially Pogba.
But 21 goals and assists, it does show that he is
shocking. I didn't realize he got that many. Are you sure?
I feel like Man United fans want him to carry the team through the bad periods, through the bad performances, and win games sort of on his own. Like when you had Hazard for Chelsea, and when De Bruyne was, whether you think he's a clutch player or not, but they want him to be that guy that, okay, we're not having a good game, but Bruno's going to pull out some magic. They want him to be that guy.
This is what I'm trying to say, Lawless. By the end of his Premier League career, he probably will get more like goals and assists than Eden Hazard, but Eden Hazard will be classed as a better player just because of his in-game play. And that's just how it is.
Hazard is a bad player.
It's always going to be.
Because Man United fans are spoiled, man. Hazard was a fantastic footballer, but he still had, I would say, more reliable footballers around him in the team effort, because that's what it is. As fantastic as Ronaldo was between 2006 to 2009, there were so many other key components in that team. As fantastic as Thierry was from like 98 to 2007, 8 before he left Arsenal, and if he was good at Barca, but the Arsenal period is the best time, there were key components in that team. It's not a one-man thing. There has to be a collective. So they bitch and moan about Bruno having poor games, but then you bitch and moan about everybody else having poor games. How is he supposed to be in the best position to make an impact if everyone else around him is not doing what they're supposed to do? He has to do what he has to do as well. Don't get me wrong. But if he's your key man and your main goal getter, I mean, obviously now Ronaldo say probably not, but beforehand, your main goal getter, your main creator, your main guy on the pitch, you have to do everything you can to make him flourish. And a lot of them weren't doing that. And he was actually getting the numbers in spite of poor performances, if we're being honest. So Man United fans are spoiled, man. They forget what makes a good team sometimes. And that's why we're struggling with this whole Bruno rubbish. For me personally, I'm satisfied. I'm more than satisfied. I'm delighted with Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, just to add before we move on, I think for me personally, I just don't like the double standards in the fan base. I think with Bruno Fernandes, it's very simple for me. He's not easy on the eye at times. He's not the Kakas we just mentioned previously. He's not that kind of player that in terms of he's got that silkiness to him. He's not easy on the eye at times, but he's effective. And as a footballer, your first job in that position is to be effective and contribute to the team. And as Cole just said perfectly, or even Kish to an extent, he might have absolute stinkers, but he has an impact week in, week out. And that's all you can ask for him. But just to come back to the double standards, if it's Paul Pogba, you guys know how much I love Pogba. But if it's Pogba doing what Bruno Fernandes does, i.e. scoring those goals, creating those chances, people are going to be buzzing off it. Because it's Bruno Fernandes, everyone's like, so I don't care if he's created the most chances in the league. I'm sorry, if you create the most chances in the league, that's a very good statistic to have. I'm not big on stats. I don't even care about his GA. But as a midfielder, he's created the most chances in the entire league, more than any other player. And people are disrespecting him because it's not Pogba. I'm sorry, but he should have had another 3 assists. How many sitters does Ronaldo want to miss of like Bruno passes? Like when it was Pogba passing it to Zlatan, everyone was like, "Oh, well, Pogba got robbed of 10 assists." When it was Ozil to Giroud, Ozil got robbed of 10 assists. But when it's Bruno Fernandes or Ronaldo, nobody mentions it because there's just agendas. So for me personally, I mean, you can criticize Bruno, you can dislike him, but this notion that he's a shit player and he's not good enough for Man United is a bit extreme. On the other flip side, he's not world class as well. So it's in the middle, which is where I am, which is okay. People can say I'm sat on the fence, but for me, I just think it's not agendas. I don't dislike Bruno Fernandes. Why would I? He scores goals for Man United. He's got 10 this season. He's got like 15 assists this season, 7 in the Champions League. Obviously, I think he's got like 6 or 7 in the Premier League as well. People just need to chill the fuck out, man. Honestly, guys, it's getting a bit boring now. Not everything is agendas, but it is for the next segment. West Ham United, you love to see it. Notice I've seen your tweets about David Moyes. you weren't happy, which is good to see. It's good to see a bit of passion. It's a shame your players couldn't, display that on the weekend against Newcastle. A team without Trippier, a team without a Saint Maximum, a team with Eddie Howe, obviously, which a lot of you don't rate in here as well. But I just want to focus firstly on 20-goal striker Antonio Lolis, because I remember very specifically that you said to me, even this season it's going to score 20 goals. And I said to you, I mean, if you get 16, fair play to the guy. And I actually thought he would get 16, so I'm not going to knock it. But he's fallen off a fucking cliff, Lolis. Can you chat about Antonio, the man who's not a striker anymore? Your words, Jason's words, I don't know, he's not here to defend himself, but West Ham fans are now saying he's not a striker, but apparently when he was on that hot form, he was getting he's a 20-goal striker. So what's going on? What's with the flip-flop throughout the season, Lolis?
Right. Let me tell you something. There's no flip-flop. He was never a striker. He was just being he was never a striker. He was never ever a striker. However, he was playing effectively in that role. It was working, and it works for Moyes sometimes when he does that. He put him up there, and he was playing well. He started the season fresh, full of energy, ready to go, and he hit the ground running. And once for me, the real downturn comes when he starts his international duty, right? When the Europa League kicks off, and when he starts going away for Jamaica, right? He's our only.
I don't agree with that one.
No, he's our only recognized striker, yeah? Striker. Only recognized one. Only one that we're saying he's up there, up front. This whole season, he's playing 90 minutes, week in, week out. In cup games, in the league. Then he's going to Jamaica. He's playing, you know what I mean, all the games over there, having to travel from flipping Panama to the US to flipping Trinidad over here, right? All over the place. Then coming back to England, traveling up Burnley, then going to flipping Croatia. Like, the guy is being just ridden hard.
Has anyone got a violin by chance? Anyone?
You want big internationals playing for your team, and you're upset when they go off the international break. Come on, man.
No, but it's not that. It's not that, Cahill. The point is that you have another striker who can come in where you go, cool. All right, 75 minutes, right? Antonio, you come off. Let's get this other striker on, get some fresh legs on. Antonio is being ridden into the ground because there's no one on the bench to come and relieve him. There is
one guy, Lola, to be fair. The guy that is bagging week in, week out for Ajax. The one that your fans and your manager ran out the club. So to be honest, right? This isn't at you, to be honest. This isn't got nothing to do with you. But your fans deserve this so much. It's unbelievable. And Moyes, your fans and Moyes said this guy's not good enough for the Prem. He doesn't suit the Prem. Shut up. What do you, man, know about European strikers, respectfully? And again, this isn't applying to you at all because you defended him. But to everybody else that ran at Sebastian Haller, fuck off and enjoy your bullshit now. You mans can't cry about Antonio. You can't make any excuses. Moyes said Haller's not good enough. Man scored an overhead kick. Still not good enough. Man's ran him out the club, left, and then Moyes doesn't buy another striker, whether it's the board, whether it's Moyes. I'm sorry, Moyes has had an absolute shocker. He's not using Vlasic. Yarmolenko is shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know why he's still there. Obviously, you would be able to elaborate on that on more than me. But that guy's not even using the players that he's got. As you said, Antonio running to the ground. But you got to look at Moyes. What is he doing? He's not even using. He has got Vlasic there. He's not even using him.
I can't defend Moyes at all, right? I was fuming. You should have heard me when that before the subs board came up, right? We where I was standing, we was all saying, I said, like, anyhow, that's Ben Rama and not Antonio. I swear, this guy best not take off Ben Rama. All of a sudden, we see number 22 come up, but I'm glad I wasn't on the watch on because I was cussing him something else, like, because it's every time. Ben Rama even said to him, like, every time it's me.
Wait,
why
me? Mike's echoing. I can hear it barely. Don't know
who's mine.
I'm just gonna mute my mic 1 second. Just keep talking.
Yeah, he was saying like basically every time, like why every time, and he should have come off quicker. He should have come off quicker, but same time, why are we taking off Benrahma? Every like clockwork, 70 minutes comes along. Oh, bye Benrahma. Like Antonio can listen, Tomb fans.
Yeah, this comment's quality. Go on, Archie. You tell him, Archie. Tell him.
Listen, what would they? Listen, they're just trying to buy their way up there. They're going to buy their way up into it. But I'm not even going to go on them. Benrahma, no one had a good game, but Benrahma created 3 chances in that game. He was winning the ball back early in midfield. He was making runs. Antonio, who is our striker, was on the wing for the whole game, but not even. He was like left wing back. Like, and we need this guy in the box. Nothing was coming off for him. He was trying to kick the ball. It was going right under his foot, completely missed kicking it. Then he starts trying to take these shots. The guy has never scored outside the box for us. He's shooting in row Z. And this is another thing. For a guy who all his goals come inside the box, why are you not in the box? Get in the box, man. It makes no sense. And that's the problem. And that can be coached, surely. That can be told, right? No. You get in there, right? You stay central. You get in the box. You make them runs. But I think part of it is down to a lack of energy. Because you look at our goal. You look at our goal against Leicester where Bowen is playing off the shoulder. He makes the run. I don't think Antonio's got the legs for that right now. That's a problem. But we're playing the same way. We need to change it up. We need to drop Antonio. Vlasic has to start. Bowen up front. And try something else out because it's the same thing week in, week out. And it's so frustrating. And it's all going to come back. And people are all off West Ham. Stop going on about the transfer window. No. Every time we see shit like this, it's going to go, well, we had an opportunity in a transfer window. What happened? It's and it's more, and people want to put it on the board. We have this thing I've been one of the most vocal about Golden Sullivan. But this time, we can't blame them. We can't blame them. The money was there. Moyes said there's no one available that can improve on what we've got. How can we haven't got a striker. We haven't got a recognized striker. We've got
hold on. Tell me. You've got there's no one out there that can be an improvement on Mikel Antonio.
That's what he said.
I mean, they have got sort of, Jamaica's finest. They have got some of the best players in the world.
Jamaica's finest, boy. The way I was kicking the ball on the weekend is Jamaican Johnny Wilkinson. Bring back
Kenwyne Jones.
He's such a show of what he can be, Antonio.
Uncle Kenwyne will sort it out.
Listen, can we just like rewind a second, like slightly, yeah. I've seen a lot of uproar from West Ham fans. I understand why you're upset because you drop points. But honest to God, and I feel like Kale might be able to, he feels about saying, I think it's so funny how fuming West Ham fans are because you're punching it well above your weight. Like, just be happy you're there. Like, I mean, you drop points. Obviously, I understand you're frustrated. I get that. But you, mans, are going out like, oh, we should be in that. Like, you're not in the top 4 race. Like, you never have been. You never have been in the top 4 races.
Hey,
you never have been.
Listen. Whoa, big man. Big man. You're a big guy there. Why are you saying this?
I've never had West Ham in the top 4 race ever.
You've never had West Ham in the top 4 race.
How can you say we're not in the top 4 race? We've spent most of the season in the top 4. We've been in the top 4 more than
you. Look how good he is.
It's inevitable that West Ham will drop off.
Yo.
But that's ridiculous. Come on, you can't say that.
Basically, what's happening at West Ham is basically what most fans have been saying. Well, West Ham. This isn't even a. I'm not trying to disrespect West Ham because I think they've done fantastic. But you got a thin squad. It was always going to be a moment that it catches up to you guys. And like you're talking about now, you're talking about Antonio's fatigue. You're not discrediting him as a player, obviously, but you're talking about his fatigue. You're saying let's switch it up. Antonio should get dropped X, Y, and Z. And you're right. Antonio should get dropped not because of his ability, because he's knackered. And it happened to Man United last season towards the back end of the season. Bruno Fernandes dropping stinkers week in, week out because he's playing every single game, and Rashford as well, doing absolutely dead on the feet. And that is down to the fact that the way you manage your team is not acceptable. So for me, I've said consistently, when Europa League kicks back in, and when you're actually competing, and this isn't a discredit, you guys, because you've been phenomenal in the Europa League so far, so fair play to you. But when you get into a knockout stages of a cup competition, you start to believe that you can actually achieve something, and actually you try to actually go for it a bit more. And then you're really gonna start to suffer in the next couple of weeks. So for me, I never had you in the top 4 race because I always expect you to drop off.
You can't, but you can't say this because you think we're gonna lose the race. You can't say we're not in the race. We're still in the race.
Wow!
I know
Hold on a second.
like,
this is beautiful. I just want this to continue.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this.
I'm getting like feelings about this because as an Arsenal fan, this entire season, both you guys have been saying we're not in the top 4 race, despite us. Despite us being in the actual top 4 race.
When did I ever say Arsenal were not in the top 4 race?
No, yes, you believed it, Dan. But anyway, continue.
When did I ever say that? Give me the evidence.
Look, to be fair, I've said Arsenal and West Ham are never in the race. I've said it consistently. I mean, I might get proven wrong with Arsenal. To be fair to them, they might sneak into 7.
Usman doesn't know what a race is. Usman doesn't know what a race is.
Listen, okay, you know what?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at the Vikings now. It's beautiful. Continue, boys.
I'm come prepared. I tell you why, Knowledge. You're not gonna like this one, man. You're not gonna like this. I'm come prepared. I set this up in my head, and so let's talk about the title. The top 4 race. Fucking God, I wish it was title race. The top 4 race, yeah. So if West Ham are in the race mathematically, which you are in your eyes, in my eyes, no, because I expect you to drop off. That means Wolverhampton Wanderers are in the race.
They are in the race.
No, they're not. They're not.
They are.
They're not in the race.
If they beat Arsenal, they go above Arsenal.
Bro, Wolves are not in the race, man.
The race, bro.
Wolves are not in the race.
But mathematically, they are because based on your logic, you have to.
No, how is it? Race. We're 5th. How is it based on my
Wolves
logic?
have got 3 games in hand. You're 3 points behind.
Oh my God! Enough with the games in hand. No, don't do that face, Kojo. Don't do that.
No, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's why I didn't
do that face like it's a revelation. Like, oh, that changes.
I didn't know that. I promise you, I didn't know that.
Because it's
no. Listen, I want you to give me the same energy you've given to West Ham all season because Wolves are doing better than you at the moment. Let's be real.
They're on better. They're on a.
You were saying to me on the chat, if Man United lose, you people are about Brighton. What about West Ham, big man? What about West Ham? Your team.
You misunderstood that. It's because you're off the field.
You could be 8th. You could be 9th. If you're not lucky, you could be 9th.
Listen, come on.
Lawrence is getting cooked.
Nonsense aside of all the nonsense you've just said, we've been in the top 4 for most of the season. I think we've been in the top 4 more than any other team. Here,
it doesn't matter. Arsenal
we spent most time in the top
of the table so many seasons up until January throughout the entire season, and they finished 4th. Like, what does it mean? Fuck all.
Listen, on the Europa League thing, when the Europa League kicks in, right? There's been a lot of talk, and I think someone was, in fact, that will actually help us in the league because we was actually doing better. Because what we was doing,
impossible.
It's easy to look at it and go, okay,
impossible.
They're going to play then. Play that day. But the actual extra games, and Moyes said that perhaps actually the extra games and keeping that momentum up will help us at that time.
But here's the thing.
Sorry, I've got my stats. I've got my stats wrong. I apologize. They're not 3 points behind you. They're 2 points behind you. My mistake.
Here's the thing about those games in Europa League right now. Yes, I do agree that you have done well in the Europa League. You topped the group. But who's in your group? I don't think there was not really any.
The same Dynamo Zagreb that knocked out Tottenham and Arsenal.
Yeah,
Dynamo Zagreb. It's Dynamo. It doesn't matter if they knocked out Tottenham and Arsenal. It's still Dynamo Zagreb. They're not a tough team. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
They feel like they've knocked out Rangers and Celtic. One of them two as well. I can't remember.
They're still not a tough team. They're still not a tough team. They're not a good team. It's once you get to knockout stages, the quality is going to improve. That means your players gonna have to run harder. They're gonna have to play better. They're gonna be much more knackered by the time it's Sunday rolls around, and you're gonna struggle. And it's the simple fact of it. And considering that you're struggling right now, when you talk about Antonio's bit knackered, Jarrod Bowen's gonna be knackered because he's gonna have to play socks off.
Thank you very much.
Right, yeah.
Knackered. Craig Dawson, when he comes back, he's gonna be knackered.
Recent weeks.
Yeah, but listen.
Your best. Hold on. Let's get this. Has Craig Dawson been your best defender in recent weeks?
No. Craig Dawson was up there the other
No,
day.
he's
But
been the best.
however, let's not forget the Zuma situation.
Let's not forget Craig Virgil Van Dorsen, what is what you were calling him.
Virgil van Dijk. He's getting that Virgil moniker back. He's become a Virgil van Dorsen again. He lost the title.
Hey, stop it.
Let me tell you something, right? This is the thing. This is the recency bias of football fans, right? Let's all step back. Everyone step back. Look at the season so far as a
You're finishing
whole,
8th.
right? Right, this season. So this is the thing, Usman. Just because we're on a bad run now, that's not set in stone. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt what you're about to say. Let me just make it very clear. Yeah, Man United are fucking shit. Yeah, and we're above you by 4 points, right? And okay, let's keep it real, innit? So you played 26 games. I've actually got the actual table here. So you played 26 games and you're on 42 points. Man United played 26 games. We're on 46. But that's not how the Premier League works. You have to play the same number of games. So Arsenal are currently on 42 points, same number of games as you, with 3 games in hand.
Who are those 3 games in hand against?
One second. Let me finish.
Who are they against?
Let me finish. Don't worry. I'm sure they'll get 1 point in 3 games. You know what I'm saying? Like Wolves. Wolves are on 40 points with 2 games in hand, and they're in 6th. Sorry, they're in 7th actually. Tottenham are currently in 8th after beating Man City. They're on 39 points after 23 games, 3 points behind you with 3 games in hand. So all 3 teams, they're probably going to overtake Man United as well. So I'm not sitting here saying where it's all rosy in Man United's garden, because it definitely fucking ain't, and we're shit as well. But you can't sit here and tell me that you're in the top 4 race, because all 3 of them team can eat. You can be 8th. You could, but they're not.
Well,
you were saying the same. You actually could. You're more likely to be 8th. We could be 7th. No. You're 8th.
You know what them games in hand are, yeah? You're getting on to me about Europa League midweek games tied up. That's what that is. Arsenal have got to play like 3 games in 6 days against some of the best teams in the country.
It's going to be difficult for him, I'm not going to lie. But
so Tottenham are going to have to squeeze them in.
Derby, so that's
Arsenal 1 point in 3 games to overtake you.
That North London derby is gonna exhaust them. They're gonna have to give everything in that. That's what I'm saying.
But someone obviously wins that, because none of those teams can realistically.
Obviously, or you both drop points.
Yeah, but even if they draw, they're still above you. Like if Arsenal draw to Spurs, they're practically above you, bro.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, Usman. You're giving ifs, buts, and
maybes. No, but you can't sit here, yeah, and this includes me as well. With Chess, the entire season bashing Arsenal. Yeah, we're bashing Arsenal the entire season, yeah. And now we're in a position, both of us could be, I mean, you especially, because they've got 3 games in hand with you and only need 1 point. You're on the level points. Like,
yes, but this is the thing, is everything changes. Like, all they need to do is get one key injury to a player, and they're done. They're done and dusted.
But I'm saying Arsenal, West Ham are literally
but Lawless, Antonio's still there. He's tired.
Antonio still has more goals than Kane. Antonio still has more goals than Kane.
Don't ever compare Harry Kane to Antonio. Don't piss me off.
He has more goals than Kane.
Fred has beginning of the season. Listen, form is temporary. Yeah, class is permanent. Do not compare that left wing back to my striker.
Form is temporary, class is permanent.
Harry Kane got 10 games. Yeah. And I'd still take Harry Kane over Mikel left back Antonio. Do never, ever.
Listen, I'm just telling you. Bad a thing as like people are overlooking certain key.
You're going to be 8th in a couple of weeks.
Like this is what I'm saying. Like all of a sudden, everyone's slating Tottenham. Tottenham have a great result, admittedly, against Man City. All of a sudden, Spurs are the favourite. Spurs are this. Spurs. It's people's opinion changes each week.
None of our fans have said that, by the way.
We can go and battle Wolves, and people are looking at us differently. People, we can then. If we beat Liverpool, if we go and get a big result against Liverpool, people are going to be looking at us.
But it's if plus maybe
we beat Liverpool already. We've already
beat them. They are absolutely Liverpool are in
the title race then.
Get Antonio to shoot on target first, then think about him fucking doing something. Like, do you know what I mean?
We're still scoring goals. That's what gives me.
No, right? Bowen, you're literally. It's just Bowen FC.
No, it's not.
That's it.
It's Craig
Well-
Dawson as well.
Dawson and Bowen, yeah, fair play to them today. The whole day.
We're still scoring, right? And all we got to do, right, is Moyes has to just get to the drawing board and figure it out, right? Just figure it out. That's it. Certain players will come
like he's figured it out for what one time in the past 16 years, right?
What? Listen.
That was Fellaini. That was lump into Fellaini and hope for best. That
It wasn't. I'm talking about who was in that team when he got top 4?
2005.
Kane and Fellaini, probably.
Listen,
Osman,
he's got.
I think Mikel
Osman,
Arteta was captain, actually, to be fair to him.
He's been able to get the best out of certain players, right? All we need to do, say Vlasic, who's been showing a lot of positives, a lot of bright spots. If Vlasic now has got a chance, he can come good.
He could come good if he gets on the fucking pitch, but he ain't going
but that's
to,
what I'm saying. He's going to get into a situation where he's
The only way he gets on the pitch is if Antonio gets injured.
He can come good though, right?
What?
If Lacazette scores, he can come good, right?
No, but here's the difference.
And Jimenez could come good and overtake West Ham.
No, but here's the difference, Cahill, right? The same thing that he's doing with Vlasic now. Bowen didn't come in and get 90 minutes every week. Bowen was the same thing. Getting bit parts here, coming off as a sub, this, that, and the other. So there's every opportunity that this ends up working. I see Rice, and I think it was Rice and Fredericks or something, said that he's like the strongest player that they've ever played with, and his shooting power is insane. If it can just click, and we just have to try something different. We can't keep Antonio up front, Bowen on the right. You know, is it going to be Fornals or is it going to be Benrahma? Is Lanzini going to come back in? And then we just can't keep doing that. We just have to change things up. That's all I'm saying. It's getting stale, and you change things up, and then we can go again. But what I'm saying, Kish, what I'm saying, Kojo Cahill, is yes, things are looking bad for us now, but we've all had these. It's peaks and valleys. And at the end of the season, what will matter is who's had the most peaks and the most valleys, right?
You're going to be 8 in a couple of weeks, Lola, so it's going to be a very deep valley for you, my guy. But anyways,
this is what I'm saying. You're counting games in hand as points on the board, man.
Then Arsenal are level on points with you. Do you not understand?
Yeah, but we've got the goal difference. And once they get hammered by Liverpool...
Arsenal need 1 point from 3 games to overtake you. 1 point.
Okay, they can get that 1 point, but at the same time, we've still got to play Arsenal.
Right,
we've still got to play Tottenham. We've still got to play, we got, you know what I mean?
So do you think West Ham is still in the race? Then let's just conclude on that. Do you think West Ham is still in the top?
We're in the race. You may not think we're favourites for the race. You may not think we'll win it. You may think we'll drop off. But right now, as it stands, we are second in the race. You have, what is it? Formula One, innit? I don't watch Formula One, but Formula One, they have all of the races, didn't it? And then you finish the race, and wherever you finish in that heat, you get points or something, and you take to the next heat. And so we're finishing this section second. We finished previous heats first, and someone who knows Formula One.
I'm gonna end that. Just stop talking, Lord. You're the Max Verstappen of this whole situation.
Don't worry.
If I knew Formula One, that would have worked.
No, because that was all wrong. It was all wrong. Let's not clip that.
There's heats. No, but you know what I'm saying? Because you can
basically
come fifth in the race.
You finish second and first at different heats, blah blah.
And then you add it up over. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you know
basically what I'm saying is your car is currently broken in it and it's getting repaired while Wolves are overtaking you. But anyways, let's move on to Tottenham Hotspur.
Jerry knows. That's
wow.
What? He's only saying it because West Ham are small. That's why he's saying that. He's like, wait.
No, he knows we're in the race. Anyone with 2020 or even 10 vision knows we're in the race.
About 1 second, Wolves aren't in the race. 1 second, I don't know.
Stevie Wonder knows we're in the race.
Wolves aren't in the race. And West Ham. What did you say?
I said Stevie Wonder knows we're in the race. But not Talks United.
Listen, it is what it is. Obviously, I'll get my eye checked tomorrow. Now. But anyways, I'm deaf and blind. I've got it all. Yes, Lord. I love it, boys. I've got it. Oh, it's taken a while, but we finally got there. Listen, Kish. let's talk about Tottenham.
Oh.
Obviously, we still got to talk about Arsenal and the chat shit. Oh, we haven't even mentioned Lukaku with 7 touches. Let's go Spurs. Right, Kish. I believe Harry Kane and Heung-min Son have now got the record for the most link-up contributions, whatever that means. Basically, they've set each other up more than any other partnership in the history of the Premier League. What does that mean to you, mate? Is that a trophy? What do you reckon?
Nothing, to be honest, apart from the fact that, look, we've got 2 players in our lineup that can hurt any defence in world football. Forget Man City, anyone in world football, they can hurt on their day, and they've proved it in the past. However, I'm still a bit, I'll be honest, I'm still frustrated from the Wolves game, I'm not going to lie. Don't get me wrong, this kind of gets us the result that we badly needed, and it was totally unexpected. But I am going to criticise Antonio Conte, if I'm honest, before the Man City game. The Wolves game, I'm still infuriated by. Again, fantastic.
Fuck the Wolves game, bro.
No. Just let me say it. Yeah.
Oh, go on, say your piece.
You play a Wolves team where the game is won in midfield, and you decide to play Bentancur and Harry Winks, who defensively are on. If it was FIFA, they'd be on like 5 in terms of their defensive capabilities. And leading towards that, you see the Man City game, which is the centre midfield partnership that I wanted him to play in Højbjerg and Bentancur, because Bentancur has the technical ability and he's fantastic box to box. Where if you look at his range of pass, you look at his technical ability, it's fantastic. And then you've got Højbjerg in behind that breaks up play, and that was a key reason why we beat Man City in the end, because every time they were on the attack, Højbjerg was putting his foot in every single opportunity, and he was intercepting every single opportunity, and that's what we needed, in the Wolves game. However, look, Harry Kane. I mean, look, beginning of the season, don't get me wrong, I've seen Kojo as well. I remember in the WhatsApp chat, rightfully criticised Harry Kane at the beginning of the season, and look, it's taken him 6 months to turn up. We can't deny that as Tottenham fans. It has pretty much taken him 6 months to turn up. However,
it's taken 6 years to turn up in a big game as well.
Yeah, there's now 15 league games left between now until the end of the season. If he now continues to turn up the way he is and he ends up with another 10 to 15 goals in those 15 games, which he could definitely do, because Harry Kane, from February till the end of the season, always seems to bag a bag full of goals. If he does that, then we have every single opportunity to hit top 4. My only issue is, and this is the same issue that's been with Tottenham every season, is you just don't know what's going to happen. We beat a Man City, but then we lost to Southampton, we lost to Wolves. We could easily lose to Burnley in the weekend, because Burnley had a really good result where they battered.
What are your thoughts on this comment?
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. He's stupid. He's never liked Harry Kane anyway, so it's just ridiculous. Yeah, look,
I love the Kane side.
Me as a Spurs fan, for all the result that we had, I still have no confidence in us at all that we beat Burnley. Burnley are on form at the moment. They absolutely hammered Brighton on the weekend. And I have no confidence at all that we're going to beat them, because I can see us well and truthfully losing that game. I can see that happening, because it's literally...
Kids, can we talk about the Man City game? No one cares about your next fixture.
No, what I'm saying,
you just beat Man City.
Honestly,
God, I forgot what you were talking about for a second. Fuck
you.
Next
what
game.
I'm saying
Let's talk about the Man City win.
I will literally just summarize in the most simplistic way, right? Fantastic performance. Fantastic performance. However, as Spurs fans, we just don't see enough of it, and it's just inconsistency. We can turn up this weekend and we could lose the weekend after. Fantastic win.
Okay. So Kish, rather than bask in the negativity of the why not just enjoy this moment?
Just be happy, bro.
Kane was a Spurs fan, because every time I've been that in the past,
you can't as a Tottenham, you can't as West Ham.
Bro,
all our teams are the same.
Kane dropped a monster class, and you're here saying, but we lost to.
And you know why he's done that, right? You know why he's decided to turn up in that game?
Because that's his audition.
It's against Man City.
That's his audition.
Of course it is.
I'm sorry, I didn't know Pep Guardiola is Simon Cowell. Brother,
listen. He didn't play the first game against Man City when we beat them again, by the way. On the Nuno.
Yeah. Just on that, can we quickly mention how you done the double of them and Kale was celebrating the 2-1 loss? Like, can we just quickly bring that up? Like obviously, like
I'd
Arsenal,
rather bask in the negativity that Kish is bringing. To be honest with you, talk about how inconsistent Son is. Talk about how inconsistent Son is. There we go.
Do you know what it is as well? Look, I mean, he's not very inconsistent because he's scored more goals than any of your midfielders this season. But that's just, I mean, it's another season.
I mean, he's a forward, so that would help. But
no, I mean, I mean, so is Smith Rowe, so is Saka. Do you know what I mean? All these Donnies are also like forward line, but you know, and like
Smith-Rowe's got more goals than Ronaldo, to be fair.
But yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so there you go. But look, fantastic performance. You can't deny that. And Conte, this game alone just shows the quality that he as a manager has. He does have the quality to get these results. But my big question is can we be consistent enough? And this isn't just a question for Tottenham. It's probably everyone in the chase.
It's literally every single one of us here on this team is the same.
All it takes is one of us to get a result of say 4 or 5 wins on the bounce, and we are. Yeah. You're probably almost there if you get 4 or 5 wins.
If you win more than 2 games in a row, you've got top 4 basically.
That's what I mean. But are any of us going to be able to achieve that this season? I am not too sure.
Oh, we've got 2 in a row, actually, Coach. Oh, we need one more for a new record, club record. Oh, man.
You're the only team who hasn't actually lost in their last 5 games.
Who's that? Spurs?
Man United.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You know what it is? But we had easy fixtures on it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, look at this. Like, if this was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, people would be saying, but we're undefeated and God knows how many games. But I'm not. I can't be that guy because I didn't give Ole that courtesy, so I can't give the same courtesy to Ralph because I'm not a hypocrite. And the day we drop points against shit teams. Let's be real. Like, end of the day, we're undefeated in 5 games, but it doesn't mean fuck all, really. Do you know what I mean? We lost out 6 points. But listen,
you've got your big games to come now. You've got your big
exactly.
games
That's what I'm saying, innit? So I'm not going to get ahead of it. Well, we did beat West Ham, but obviously that's not a big game. But
he's right in the Kish. I can see why he's apprehensive because you think about it. And I said this when what do you call it? Arsenal beat Man City in that 2-1 defeat. Man City have these in there.
I was hoping to Arsenal beat Man City.
They did.
I think that they prayed for that one, though. You know, the progress.
I heard they're lining up at end of the season testimonial for that game.
God, honestly, don't worry, man.
But I said that Man City, they have these random games in them where they'll just go and just drop a crap performance and then they'll go on the run. Like, I feel sorry for Everton next game because they're going to unleash the fury of flipping.
The one thing I will say, though, Lawless, is Man City weren't poor in that game against us. It was just the game plan that Conte lined up with was to bang them on the counter. And we have done that for the last 2-3 seasons when we've beaten them. And it just worked a treat. When you have players, like even when you have Kulusevski, Son and Kane there firing, it will work regardless, because the one thing Pep doesn't change is his game plan in general. There's always opportunities on the counter to get at a Pep City team. It's just having the quality to do it. And on this particular occasion, all 3 of our forwards were on top form, hence why we got the result.
All right, fair enough. Just before we move on, I just want to quickly talk about Man City. Obviously, it just mean the title race is back on. I mean, as a Man United fan, it's just shit for us, but it's not about us, obviously. Can we just talk about Man City's defense very briefly? Because I've said this, and I feel like a lot of us have said this as well. Their defense is unbelievably overrated. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not good players. Cancelo, Diaz, etc. They're all top players, don't get me wrong. But I said it on the chat, and you guys can all testify. Prior to the kickoff, all you need, a high line, Son in behind. I said it on the chat, Kish. And straight within 6 minutes is already. And I'm not saying, I'm a genius or anything, but it's so obvious. Like, City play the most highest of lines, and it's very easy to hurt them. Any team that actually attacks them, which isn't many, causes them issues. And for me personally, I think Man City's defense could be the potential reason that they bottled the title. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Does anyone have any thoughts? Yeah, go on, Coach.
Flipping Kyle Walker could be the issue. That's why. Flipping his defending. His defending was so terrible. Absolutely horrendous. Just an absolute disaster class in defending. And as Kel told me ever so nicely today on the podcast, which made me kind of proud because, defending is my kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Man said that it's because he's not making recovery runs. That's why he's thinking so shit. Listen, he was just a horror show. The header for Kane to make it 3-2. There's no reason for Kane to be winning that first. He should be there getting ready. He's aggressive. Usually, he's always ready for the tackle. He's got that Sheffield fire about him. All that shocking performance. And then on the left side, now I like Cancelo. I'm a big Cancelo fan. I've made that clear from time.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, he's brilliant, but there is a lack of support for him on that side defensively, and you can't expect a man to do the job by himself all the time. That's the same thing for Kyle Walker. Sometimes he's going to need support, but my thing was more positional about him. I feel like there's a lack of support on the left side for Cancelo defending, and it'll be the same thing for Zinchenko or whoever else you want to put there. And finally, Pep Guardiola's a problem as well because this guy don't like making subs. So when Spurs are doing that to you, bring on Fernandinho, disrupt man. You know, disrupt play because Harry Kane was having the time of his life in that middle of the pitch, and Rodri was doing nothing to stress him out because Rodri's not that kind of player. Rodri's not someone that disrupts your play too tough. He's shown aspects of it, but it's not his game. Fernandinho should have been the one doing that. So Pep has to hold corn for that as well because he's not perfect in this situation. And every time City lose to a Tottenham, it's because it's flipping counter-attacking football. When they lose to Man United, why is it counter-attacking football? It's never even Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool are a bit more gung-ho about it, but when you see a lot of their goals, it's always capitalizing off mistakes. So it's an immediate counter. It's always something that is counter. So as far as I'm concerned, Pep needs to figure something out fast because you said it. It might not just be a defense thing. It might be a Pep thing. Start making more than one subs in games. Otherwise, you might lose the title. I mean,
the worry is as well, Kojo. If a front three of Kane, Son, and Kulusevski can do that, imagine Liverpool's front three.
Yeah,
I was just thinking that.
But the way is, I wouldn't say it like that. I know what you mean, but I wouldn't say it like that because I feel like for your front three, you just needed one more person that knows exactly what they're doing on that side to make that fluent. You had Bergwijn and Moura. I really just don't want to say anything about those guys.
Good squad players, but not.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I wouldn't call them squad players. It's time to get rid, man.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I think Moura's all right.
Lucas Moura is all right, yes, but he's still at Spurs because of one night. Really and truly, if you didn't have that night, Spurs would have sold him a while ago.
Kojo, that's a bit harsh. You did win the Audi Cup. Like,
sorry, I forgot about that. Sorry, my bad.
Obviously, Bergwijn scored them 2 last-minute winners, isn't it? So
well, I mean, if that's what you want to...
I mean, that might get...
not you, but if Spurs want to keep it because he did that, you must have go and resign Federico Macheda as well because he was...
I'm not even joking. If I was Pep and you play Liverpool, I'd go with 2 CDMs. I'm genuinely not even joking.
I can't lie to you. I think that would be the worst thing to do.
Really?
I think so. I think you have to go for their neck. I'm sorry. You have to go for that. Similar approach to the City game. I think you need to do it. If you do defensive, you're risking putting, well, it won't be Kane and Son off, so it'll be Kulusevski off. And it's going to be the energy of Moura again. Energy of what? He's not good. He hasn't got a good end product, man. Stick to what you did against City and you'll get more points. That's what is, in my humble opinion anyway. That's what I think.
I still think Man City are going to win the league, like regardless.
Yeah.
It's going to be closer than we thought it would be, but I feel like that Pep's just going to do what he does to get it over the line.
I also think as well, Man City have played the majority of the top end teams. I think Liverpool.
They haven't. They've got loads to play. They've got everyone to play.
Have they?
I believe have they not got West Ham next?
No, I don't think they've got many.
No,
teams.
I think we played.
So I think they've got Man United again.
They've got Everton. They've got Everton, West Ham, Man United, I think, or something.
Everton? What do you mean Everton?
Yeah,
no. I'm just sorry. I didn't mean like that. Because they're gonna slap Everton. I meant just as that's the next game.
They've got Man United, Wolves.
Yeah.
They got us second last game of the season.
Yeah, I knew they had West Ham at some point because I need to sell Bowen.
But I hope the thing's done by then. The league's done either way. I don't need Man City
just before we go, because we need to move on to Arsenal, because obviously we're getting a bit, I have to ask you, Lawless, Grealish, just very quickly. Kojo obviously mentioned the lack of subs. You got £100 million man there, potentially come and make an impact. What are your thoughts?
I mean, come on. I said it. I called it. I said this guy is a waste of time, a waste of money, pointless signing for Man City. He's gonna go there and just be another player taking up space, another cog in the wheel. not really affecting, I think, no impact, all of this. I heard from a certain Spurs fan, we know, oh, why does Pep want him then? Why does Pep want him? But that's what happens. Sometimes top managers just sign players that they think they want, they think they need at the time, when really you look at it, maybe it was a bit of a panic buy because you couldn't get the real £100+ million man that you wanted. So it's like, we need this marquee signing. We need some sort of marquee signing. I think that's what Grealish was. And, you know, it's just showing, like, what did you said something like he's got two, what was it?
Fred's got more goals in him.
Yeah,
so
Fred's got
is
more.
Elanga as well. Bloody hell.
Fred and Elanga has more goals than Jack. I'm sorry, if he's the player that we heard about, and
no. Sorry. So I'm so sorry, bro. Did you just say Elanga has more goals than Jack Grealish?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I want to go on the balcony and just sue right now. I'll be back.
Yeah, like come on. Come on, what Kish was like, I've got this. I would love to know how you're gonna twist this to say. 100%. Is
Are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah.
Just take the L, Kish. Just take it.
No. Okay. Right, okay. The first season that Riyad Mahrez was signed, Player of the Year, by the way, Leicester Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year, he bagged 6 goals in the league in 40 games. Okay, 35, 40 games, right? Six goals for a Player of the Year. No, let me speak. Yeah, Raheem Sterling, the best young scout since my dad's nuts came out, right? Scored 5 goals in the league, right? But apparently, you know, and he was classed as a waste of money, bought for £50 million. Beckenbauer's second coming in Leroy Sané was classed as the biggest thing since sliced bread. First season, scored 6 league goals, right? And again, played almost every game for Man City.
They were young players, though.
No. Let me speak. Yeah, let me speak. Jack Grealish has been in an Aston Villa team where everything goes through him. He is now in a team where it's not just about him; it's about superstars in every single position. You can't. If let me speak. If next season,
sorry, JDB, fucking hell.
If next season he doesn't adapt and he still struggles, then I will eat my humble pie and say to you, fair enough, you were right, I was wrong. But until you give him that opportunity to succeed, we don't truthfully know. Mahrez, Sterling, Sané, it happened with every single one of them the second and third season that they were at Man City, where the productivity and the stats increased massively for all 3 of them players. So what I'm saying is, do not judge him right now. The £100 million, it is a huge fee. But is that his fault? No. Was that his buyout clause? Yes. Did Man City decide to pay that? Yes. We're gonna have the same conversation about Declan Rice. Do I think Declan Rice is worth 100 million? Fuck no. Do I think he's worth 100 million? But if you base it off what people are talking and what the valuations are, then yes. So
my point was they didn't need him. I know and the same thing. They didn't need to make that size.
At the beginning of the season, if you remember last season, Sterling was going through a barren run and he wasn't getting in the team as much at Man City. And people did say that it was going to be the case.
That you're saved Sterling City.
And Grealish. But yeah, Sterling has now ended up absolutely firing in all cylinders, which fair play to the guy. But at the beginning, there was an opportunity that he might take his place. I know we're going to talk about him later on. The Lukaku situation is completely different, which we will discuss later on. But with Grealish, you've got to understand.
God, you're going to miss that. Don't worry, I'm ready.
He's completely changed.
I'll just a bit longer, don't worry.
He's completely changed the system. You know, again, just to summarize, give him next season. If he doesn't achieve anything next season individually and he doesn't perform, then fair enough, 100% you're right. But to judge him on his first season in a team and a manager that demands so many different kind of criteria compared to the norm. Look at Thierry Henry, for example, one of the greatest strikers in world football, went to Barcelona. He himself says the demands that Pep Guardiola asked of him were so different that he's never, ever seen something like that in his entire career.
He was 32 at the time, though.
Huh?
He was 32 at the time.
No, he was 29. He was 29 when he went to Barcelona. Yeah, have a look. He was 29. I've done my research.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you need to chill, yeah. But what I'm saying is, give the guy a season. If next season he doesn't do it, then fair enough. We'll have the same conversation, and I will apologize because there is going to be an apology coming for Lukaku later on. But all I'm saying is give him that we'll see.
Because you're such a politician, Kish, what I need to ask you is this.
Go on. Go on.
What are we measuring this against, right? Because you could come and see he could bag 2 goals this season. Next season he could bag 6, and you're like, you could sound like an Arsenal fan and talk about progress, yeah. Like you could be coming out.
No. I'm basing on influence. Like I said earlier, that Bruno Fernandes goals and assists are better than Bernardo Silva's for Man City. But Bernardo Silva's had a better season because he's been more involved and his general play has been a lot better than Bruno Fernandes. That's what I'm looking for next season for Grealish. If he scores 6 goals and gets 6 assists, but then plays terrible.
Are you sure you're expecting that? Because when it was Lukaku, you used to send me the goals that he scored.
Again, listen, it's coming. Even more. Right?
We've been friends for a long time, by the way. People don't know this yet.
Listen,
I've already had years.
Listen, I've already had a couple of shots of tequila because I knew
every single time Lukaku scored,
he's coming. But what I'm saying is,
me in there. He played shit.
What I'm saying, Lawless, is let's have this same conversation next season. And if it's not the same, if it's the same, then fair enough.
Kish, can I? Because I hear what you're trying to say. The first 2 examples used were Sane and was it Sterling? I think it was.
Sterling, Mahrez.
All right, so. And Mahrez, okay. Well, Mahrez is obviously a bit more experienced, so I can sort of understand maybe him not. But how old is Grealish, by the way? 26 now? 26?
Yeah.
25,
26. Leroy Sané and Sterling were nowhere near that age when they were
19. I'm sure they were like 19, 20.
Very, very young. And yes, the system is different, I understand. So maybe you're saying he's gone from a Premier League team to a Premier League team, means he has less adaptation or that. Maybe that might not mean anything to you and many others that support your view. But the thing is, I'll put the transfer fee aside. Jack Grealish came with a reputation of being a game changer. And obviously he did it for a lesser club. But if you go into the club where you're challenging for titles, you're expected to make that step up. That's the be-all and end-all of that. And he hasn't done that so far, for whatever reason it is. Maybe Pep not giving him enough minutes because right now, he's on the bench, but then Pep does that. Sterling will have a great run of games and then Sterling will not start. Mahrez is their top goal scorer. He didn't start in this game against Tottenham. So it could be a Pep thing. But as far as I'm concerned, I look at it like this. You were signed with the purpose of being that game changer. Another one in that team that takes control of situations that Pep Guardiola look at you on the bench, for example. If you start on the bench, can look at you and say, Grealish, I trust you to be the difference maker in this game. So I'm going to bring you on. So far, he hasn't given that vote of confidence because I don't think he has that faith that he can be that player. And the thing about Pep is not the kind of manager that's afraid to sign someone else because they ain't done well in their first year. Many left backs and right backs, goalkeepers. So as much as I understand what you're trying to do with Grealish, and I understand that maybe give him time. For me, time is really not on his side because he's about to approach peak years or he's in his peak years. And if he's not performing to a level that Pep finds acceptable, he's either going to be £100 million squad player or a player they lose for £80 million less. And that's not a good look on Jack. I agree.
Yeah.
So, for me personally, I understand people trying to say, take time, get used to the system, all that rubbish. But for me, I don't think he has that time. He has to adapt.
My question to you, though, Kojo, is right.
What?
We all play football, right? We all play football. If you're in a team that you are used to playing pretty much every single league game for your team, and you are the main asset, right? You are the main player. You are the main dominant force in that team. Yeah. And then you get put to another team where you are now a miniature version of what the team has, and you are just a part rather than everything coming through you. Yeah. Would you be able to adjust straight away? And also knowing that you will not play every game, regardless of how well you play or how poor you play. Early in the season, Grealish actually had a couple of games where he played really well. One of them that I remember was a Champions League game where he scored and assisted and played really well. What happened in the next league game? He got dropped. At Aston Villa, even if he has half decent games, you're guaranteed to play every single game. So put yourself in that position. How would you react?
I mean, for me personally, it's like this. I see what you're saying. So for me, it'll be like this personally. I go to a team where I know the quality levels are much higher. I know my job to adapt is much harder, but you have to work on that from early because you don't make that move if you don't think you're prepared to make that change. You have to know that you're going to be a rotational option. That's the be-all and end-all of it. So as far as I'm concerned, you can you can have a bit of sympathy for him for the, going from a key player to be a rotational player. But
wow, such a sad story. That
as far as I'm concerned,
must be so difficult.
It's a nonsense. You're playing for a top team. Adapt, learn fast, because Sterling learned fast. Sane learned very fast. Sane started important goals for them. He left because he fell out with Pep Guardiola. Not that he wasn't good.
All second season, by the way.
It doesn't. No. But in the first season, he did enough to make sure that he stayed for the second season. This is my point. I'm not saying Grealish isn't doing enough, but so far, all four of us, bar you, we're not convinced.
Bro,
and if you're not convinced,
£100 million on the bench. Bro, £100 million on the bench, and you need someone to come and impact the game. Where the fuck is he? Like, he's not even getting ball.
Yeah, he obviously doesn't think he's that game changer.
Exactly, he doesn't think he's that guy. It's the same with us with like Lingard. Basically, he's just there, Jesse Lingard. He doesn't think that he's not going to get subbed on or Rashford or whatever. But listen, just to quickly, because we need to speed up a bit slightly. The last thing I want to say on Grealish, the reason I'm going in on him as well is because basically what you described is, a big fish, small pond, Aston Villa. Now he's a small fish, big pond at Man City. That's basically what you just said in a roundabout way. Obviously, you could feel free to correct me. But I just want to add, Sancho has not had the same leniency. I'm in the media. People are saying Sancho's XYZ, Bundesliga tagged. Oh, he's a flop. The guy's 21. And this isn't Grealish's fault, but what I'm just saying is Sancho's not had the same leniency. He's coming to a shit Man United team, by the way. Grealish has gone to the champions and current look like they're going to be champions again. So he's got everything in his path to be successful, while Sancho is the polar opposite, and he's got every obstacle to be a failure. And then you got other players as well that haven't had the same leniency as well. But Grealish, for whatever reason, seems to be getting his berth. I know you made a good point with the other three players, and it does look like there is a pattern there. But at the same time, for me, if you pay £100 million for a player, as Graham Souness would say, you've got to deliver. Like he says about Pogba all the time, but when it's Jack Grealish, you don't seem to say shit. Pogba, he has one bad game. All I hear is £90 million, £90 million. What's £100 million Grealish do? Fuck all. That's all I want to add to that. But listen, let's quickly move on to another flop. Romelu Lukaku, 7 touches. One of which was from, one of which was from the penalty spot. Look, for me personally, right, I'm not going to be too harsh on him because I think, a lot of people have no doubt about an agenda apparently against him. But I just want to just say the facts. First half, 2 touches. One was from the penalty spot. Second half, 5 touches. So for me, he grew into the game. And it was a masterful performance in the second half. Those 5 touches were absolutely world class, and he controlled them. No trampoline touch, controlled. So people need to put respect on his name. But listen, Lukaku, since he thought he's a big man, this guy, I can't stand him. And I'll tell you why. That day when he was playing against Portugal and he went up to Ronaldo and he's whispering in Ronaldo's ear, I took that shit personal. Who are you to whisper in Ronaldo's ear? Who are you, my guy? Man was like, when you're trying to console a younger, less experienced player. Man is consoling Cristiano Ronaldo. Shut up. You ain't that guy. Man thought he's the best striker in the world. He was putting his name in the brackets of Lewandowski. Why am I not getting mentioned with Lewandowski, Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez? This is why, big man. You're fucking shit. You're shit. Man, come back to Chelsea. They said he's going to win the league. Lukaku, R9. These fucking scumbag Chelsea fans are calling him R9. Have respect on Ronaldo's name. Not RL9 or it's his initials. R9. Man took away the L. Lukaku is going to deliver us the title. He had 7 touches, big man. I think Fred fucking got more goals than him in the last 6 months. Honest to God, I just can't stand Chelsea fans with that unbelievable arrogance. And Lukaku, man thought he's on Lewandowski's level. Shut up. Stop doing interviews for Italy, big man. Fred's got more goals than you since that fucking interview. And just stay in your lane. So, Lukaku, please, let's just go. Skish, in fact, Koja, I know you need to go. So we'll come to you and Kish. You can rebuttal and you can defend your king. Because he's your fucking player. I want to hear what you have to say. But you go first because I know you need to go.
You know, Kish, I have to say this. Kish looks like one of them YouTubers who's about to do an apology video after fucking up.
Let the apology be as loud as the fucking disrespect, Kish. 2 years of your bullshit. £100 million ring. We bought Lukaku. We're winning the league. Piss off. 16 points on fucking first, man. You shit. But who wants to go first? What are your thoughts? Lukaku.
Well, I can't lie. I thought I was gonna go in, but boy, you just called him fucking shit. So I don't know what to say.
£100 million, bro. Come on, man. He thought he said he's as good as Lewandowski. Come on, then, big man. Doing interviews, yeah.
Firstly, I didn't even know about the R9 thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's more R2D2.
Oh, bro, don't go to it. We're all calling him R9 and start season, mate.
Listen, he's the only R he's related to is the R in Star Wars, but we move. So, £100 million is an embarrassment. Now, bear in mind, Chelsea have signed him twice, and quite frankly, he's letting himself down. Not them, because I don't care about them. He's letting himself down twice. His performances are strong 0s out of 10, very, very strong 0s. The Crystal Palace one was icing on the cake. 7 touches in 19 minutes has to be a record. It has to be a Guinness World Record. That's a Premier League record.
No, it is a record.
Yeah, it's a Premier League record. Yeah, but it has to be a Guinness World Record because that means he's getting less touches than goalkeepers. We're talking about the likes of Shay Given. We're talking about the likes of Mark Schwarzer. We're talking about the likes.
Oh, that's mad.
Like we're going far. Yeah, and that's why I mentioned their names because in 2003, Mark Schwarzer and Shay Given were probably goalkeepers. He's had less touches than the caliber of players we're talking about, caliber of talent. Look, the pundits were doing their best, the absolute best to defend this guy and said they wasn't getting service. And I'm like, well, if he put himself in positions to get service, then he probably get a bit more touches, maybe 8 for the evening. You know what I'm saying? It's just
get to double figures, big man.
Yeah, try 10. Try 10.
One touch per 10 million would be nice at least. You know what I'm saying?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I call official, like try something, man. But look, I don't want to go too much in because I feel like Kish's apology will emphasize just how poor Lukaku has been. So Kish, before I go,
I'm excited.
The floor is yours. I will sit attentively and listen. In fact, let me tuck my chair in a bit more like I'm in school.
I've sat up for this, Kish. Go on, mate. The floor is yours.
Posture up, turtleneck folded properly. All right, Kish, on. All right, Kish.
Let's start on a positive, innit? Let's start.
No. I want to hear. I
I've got 17% of
my I want to hear. I apologize for the bye. I don't want to hear the good stuff. I apologize for the bye. Let's go.
17 minutes.
Let's not get too hasty here, innit? Obviously, man's trying on that. Look, he won them the Club World Cup in it, 2-2. So obviously he's won them a trophy already. In it. You can't it's not all doom and gloom. You saw the celebrations. You know what I'm saying? Come on. That's
true. To be fair, he did win them.
He did bag 2-2, so he's on form. You know what I'm saying? He won them a trophy, more than what Harry Kane could do. So there's a bit of a difference.
And his
own striker.
He's been a big overweight lump of 100 million. The tank ran out before he even got on the pitch. His whole move has been a disaster since he scored that goal in his debut against Arsenal. Everyone scores against Arsenal, but since he scored in that debut against Arsenal, it's been tragic. That interview, the arguments with Tuchel. I think the press conference that Tuchel had this morning was horrible. He basically told the reporters to stop laughing when they told him about the stat. They said it's not a laughing matter. This is about a player's, confidence that's on the line. So the fact that your manager is having to stop other interviewers stopping to laugh in a press conference over these sort of stats just shows everything that you need to know. The problem is now, though, with Lukaku is you've signed £100 million player plus I think there's also add-on fees plus God knows 250.
I think if he gets 10 to 10 touches a game, then
yeah, exactly. So it adds another 10 million to Italian tax. So plus 300k a week. Who is going to want Romelu Lukaku now? I mean, whoever it is
didn't you say you take him at Spurs for Kane?
It's going to be a major loss.
Didn't you say you take him at Spurs? I swear to God you did.
Listen, I would have taken him beginning of the season, but now we're talking about West Ham levels in terms of what you taking. You know what I mean? Like in terms of we are talking that level.
Oh wow.
Not even in the league.
Honestly, I can put my hand up and say, look, I got this completely wrong. I actually thought going to Italy, absolutely, you know, his goal scoring was off the charts. It wasn't just his goal scoring, it was his productivity. But it looks like he's put his weight back on. So the excuse that he said about Man United about the dieting pills or something was a lie. He just can't get enough of Mackies. So that didn't help. You know, he just needs that, you know, the jollof. He needs it. He also couldn't get enough of the system. He blames every single excuse on the book. Like, why isn't my boy Timo Werner playing with me? Why is Tuchel not getting people around me? No, big man, listen, this is getting embarrassing now. It's embarrassing for me. You need to do better than 7.
It's embarrassing for me.
You know, it is embarrassing because 7 touches to me shows that he's actually running away from the ball. It actually that tells you that he's frightened to death of coming close to the ball because he's scared of what he's going to do with the ball. Which, if you're a £100 million striker with the record that he has, what can I say apart from that? Listen, I got this massively wrong. Big man needs to go back to Italy. He needs to get picked up by, I don't know what he needs to join Balotelli in Liga 2, Italian League 2, and just, you know, go back home because he's finished.
I didn't know it was that bad. Damn.
I heard a whole lot of talking there, but what I didn't hear was the words, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, fellas, listen, I got this horribly wrong. And
I know, I want to.
He's not saying it.
I want my name at the end.
He's not saying it.
He wants you to apologize to him directly.
I want direct apology.
Listen, I'm apologizing now, but if Chelsea win the Champions League and Lukaku scores in the final, I'm celebrating. That's all I'm saying.
No, it's too late.
It's too late because I've already clipped everything you said, mate. So it's too late.
Yeah, you've already written him off. So in fact, it's going to be used against you.
Right. No, I'm going to ask you. Yeah, Coach, I need to pass. No worries, my brother. Notice we'll come to you, then we let Kale finish the show because my battery's about to die. Obviously, Keith said he's West Ham standing. What are your thoughts on that? It's a genuine question. He said it. So you're not going to answer. Okay, look, Kale, what do you reckon? Is he West Ham standing? Do you think he's good enough to play for West Ham, or do you think he's
more than good enough to play for West Ham? He's good enough to play for every single of our teams, man. I just don't. It's one horrible season, and I understand where you guys are coming from because that interview was just disgraceful. Like you can't be saying that. You can't. And I knew that Ronaldo thing was a breaking point for you as well, because it was a breaking point for me. It's like, what are you doing?
Embarrassing, bro. But as soon as I heard that, I thought, nah, shut up, man.
Step back, realize who you are, realize that you're good. You're not a great. You're very good, and you're in the form of your life right now. You've just won the league. I understand you're going through this with Belgium. You might win the Euros. They didn't win it. He was poor in that tournament as well. But just relax, just chill. Just your ego is a bit too high right now, and that's fine. Sometimes strikers need that edge, and the greatest strikers have always had that edge. But big man, 7 touches. That's ridiculous. That is
one of them was kickoff, apparently.
One was kickoff.
One was
so
kickoff.
He had one touch in the first half. One touch.
I mean, it might be a confidence thing. He might have been confident. One touch. That is crashed out. I don't know what's going on. I honestly, like, if you were gonna sit there and start the season and say Lukaku, I don't know how many goals he's got. He's like maybe 4. Maybe probably less.
Yeah, but he just scored against Al Hilal. His confidence should be through the roof.
Well, yeah, there you go. But if you were to say that Lukaku by now would have only 4 goals, everybody here would laugh in your face.
Yeah, facts.
Because we all know that he's a good striker and he should be doing a lot more at Chelsea. And the whole chances situation, I didn't realize that Chelsea have like a plus 30 goal difference. So they're creating chances, they're scoring goals, they're just not providing for Lukaku. Or Lukaku isn't getting into the positions that he can do damage. Maybe it's a system change, but he needs to adapt to the system. Or maybe because he's a £100 million player, Tuchel needs to adapt to him because that's the star man.
That is a fair point.
That's the guy they've tried. They have to build.
The thing is, Lukaku's been that bad this season that it's actually taken off Werner as well, because this is now Werner's second season at Chelsea where he's done absolutely nothing. But no one said because of how poor
about him and Werner. They were meant to be the partnership because it was him and Lautaro at Inter.
Lautaro Martinez, yeah.
And then now it was meant to be him and Werner, but Werner's been shocking. Lukaku's been shocking. It baffles me. I don't understand why he's been this bad, because he should be on 10 goals by now.
It's the marquee signing trap. Like I spoke about Grealish, you got Lukaku, Pepe for Arsenal to an extent, where teams they sort of lose their head. Which one? Maguire Man United, yeah. They lose.
Man United as well.
Yeah, fuck off.
yeah.
2 trophies, okay.
But all sense of reasoning goes out the window of how is this player going to fit in with our team? It becomes we have to have this name. We have to get the big sign in. We can't have a window without getting the big sign in because that's what the fans want. And the teams fall into that trap and it ends up biting them in the backside. And that's what this was. And I don't even know if it was like a Tuchel signing, because Tuchel, I don't think, is really fully in control of the signings. It was one of them. They loved the idea of getting Lukaku back and shirt sales and all of this stuff. And all that's come is they've got this player that like I see it's such a mirror for Sebastian Haller, like Lukaku. As it is before, of like what he's going through. Like, you know that there's a good player there, you know that there's quality, but he just doesn't fit what the manager's trying to do. And some fans expect him to be able to adapt, but at the same time, it's difficult if you're a certain type of striker, and it's you know what I mean. They're not playing to your strengths. It's not going to work. However, there's 7 touches though still. Is it like come on? You could at least move.
One thing though, Lawless, that I will say, this is since Drogba, Shevchenko, 9 goals in 48 games for Chelsea.
The whole flock.
Torres, 20 goals in 110 games. Falcao, 1 in 10. Morata, 16 in 47. Higuain, 5 goals in 14 games. So bar Drogba, unless I'm forgetting someone else.
Diego Carlos.
Maybe Anelka, I'm not sure.
Diego Costa, kid.
Okay, yeah, okay, Drogba and Costa.
Yeah.
Oh, Costa, yeah, not Carlos. Yeah.
Struggle. They seem to struggle at Chelsea. I don't know why, but there seems to be something where they just
that is a fair point, man. Like I do feel like it is a. I do think Tuchel needs to take some of the blame in the Lukaku thing. I know I've been bantering Lukaku for God knows how long, but obviously Lukaku's comments regarding, you know, Tuchel needs to change the system, that is completely out of order. You should have never made those comments. You can't do that. However, I think it might have been Kale, or I don't know if it was Lourdes, but you pay £100 million on a striker. And again, people might use this for Grealish, but that's a different scenario because you don't really build. You're not really going to build your player around Grealish because see it play more as a team unit, so to speak. If you pay £100 million on a striker, you know you expect your team to be built around that player. Obviously, Man United have failed to do that with Pogba. I mean, according to Tim Sherwood, we failed to do it with Maguire. But yeah, I know it's embarrassing.
But this is the thing, man. I see what you're saying. But they just won the Champions League
they're
without
not really
him.
playing to his strengths. Like, banter aside, they're not really like he's not like for me. What I was just a striker, and I've said this consistently throughout, obviously, all my podcasts. I can only obviously you've got to factor in are they making movement off the ball, etc. You know, and getting in position to score. But you've always got to judge a striker on the chances they miss and how many clear-cut chances does Lukaku miss a game. I can't think of many because he doesn't get any. So, and which is a weird thing because Chelsea were creating so many chances last season prior to Lukaku's arrival. And I actually thought, oh, well, it's going to be simple as, okay, you put Lukaku in the position where Werner was, and obviously Lukaku will score a 10 out of the 20 sitters that Werner missed. Then obviously, you know, everything would be rosy. I think, okay, there are two sides of it. Obviously, they need to play more to the strength. But I feel like the bigger issue is Lukaku's upsetting the overall flow of the team because they played better without him last season, for me personally. Like, bar the finishing wasn't great last season with Timo Werner, etc., which is one of the main reasons they needed a striker. But they were creating a lot of chances. I know, obviously, James and Chilwell are a massive issue for them not creating chances. They're both not here. But I just think they look better without Lukaku in the team. Maybe it's not the right team for him. Maybe it's not the right system. Maybe that's not a discredit to him. But sometimes that happens. It's happened on many other players. And as Kish rightly said, a lot of the strikers are flopped.
You know us, man, from your Man United days, because obviously you watched.
We didn't play to his strengths at all.
He can't play his back to goal. He can't play. You need to provide him with a service. And this is the exact same thing that's happening at Chelsea. When James and Chilwell were playing as wing backs, they were whipping in the ball in the box. And it was no coincidence that the initial period when Lukaku was scoring, it was because them two were putting it in the box. As soon as one of them got injured and then the other, again, he has to do 100% more better. But surely they should look at his Man United days and look where he's actually done well, and when he hasn't, it's when it's his back to goal. Even if you look at the one chance that he had in that Crystal Palace game, it was his back to goal. He turned the defender on the left-hand side, went ahead, shot, and then Ziyech scored from the rebound where he's offside, right? But that, again, was his back to goal, which is not his strength. So,
exactly.
Again, he has to do so much more. I agree with you guys, but they are not paying to his strengths. And everything that you said, I agree. If you're paying £100 million, surely you should have it within you to have at least researched what his strengths are. Conte actually said that before he got the Tottenham job, that Chelsea and Tuchel are not playing to Lukaku's strengths. And what you said as a Man United fan is what Conte said. He doesn't work with his back to goal. That's just
absolutely, not how absolutely. They basically do what Man United did with Lukaku, which is why he wasn't as successful as he should have been. But listen, we're gonna wrap it there because I'm literally on 4% battery. My phone's not working at the moment. We haven't mentioned Arsenal, obviously, Kale. So we will start with Arsenal on the next show, and obviously we'll discuss Liverpool. Hopefully by then the bottle there. But anyways, that aside, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. I've thoroughly loved it. It's been good to have the gang back together, and obviously good to be talking football. As always, make sure you slap a like on the video and subscribe to thy channel. I will be back with the Atletico Madrid watch along. Yes, it's been a while since we've done one of them. I don't think we're going to do the show next Monday because I'm actually in Morocco. But hopefully, whenever I'm back, I don't know when that is. I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it is. We will be making sure we do a show. Don't worry, I do apologize. It's been a bit inconsistent, but like I said, I've been away working in Manchester, so I've not had a tripod on myself, etc. So I've not had the facilities for that big man. But listen, that's our shout out to everyone in the chat. James and Was, as always, showing love. Before we go, Kish, where can the people find you, my guy?
Yeah, Instagram, Twitter at Keishindu, and then follow me for daily and weekly podcasts with Usman Talks United. We've got loads of content now, so please retweet, share, like everything, all the good stuff that you can do for the guys' channel.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Obviously, as
more
you
of
guys
that
know,
beautiful Spurs negativity after big wins. That's what we need. More of that content.
Spurs, yes.
I know what Hussam just come right there. Thank you, Kish. Hairspan and Pana. Fuck off, Lord. Fuck off. BP, fuck off. Listen, Man United winning Champions League, inshallah. So yeah, I won't have to do any singing, but we'll see what happens. But listen, Kale, where can the people find you, my brother?
Every Monday here and on Free Midfield Podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitter, Spotify, all the socials. That's where you'll find me. Free in Midfield.
Yes. And last but not least, man is getting cooked. Lawless, where can the people find you, my guy?
At the Lawless on Twitter. You can come tweet me, whatever. I'm sure you're going to join all of the Arsenal fans that I'm going to be getting hate of after the show I just done on Football Terrace. They're already on my case. So come and back me. Come and give me some backing. So West Ham Fan TV, watch alongs, all of that good stuff that I'll be doing. And yeah, Dan Demo Jace, we're going to be on Twitch tomorrow 7:30. So come and join us.
Love that. Make sure you show love to Lawless. Obviously, like you said, you're going to have to back him. You can also find him and his team in 8th position come this time next week. Anyway, slap a like, subscribe to the channel. It's been your boys, man. Peace. Oh, yes, Lawless.
We'll have our time. Listen,
time. It's still on air, so if you're still watching it, you love to see how it was.
I was actually going to say to you,